96 years, 23 tournaments, one trophy that has broken hearts and made legends. This is the story of every FIFA World Cup ever played. Leave It all began in Montevideo. Uruguay hosted the very first World Cup and won it on home soil, in front of a crowd that refused to leave. Italy turned the tournament into a political statement. Under Mussolini's watch, the Azzurri lifted their first title. Italy did it again in Paris, becoming the first nation to defend the World Cup. Then the world went to war, and football paused for 12 years. 200,000 fans packed the Maracanã expecting a Brazilian coronation. Instead, Uruguay shocked the host nation in what's still called the Maracanazo. West Germany pulled off the Miracle of Bern, beating the unstoppable Hungarian team in the final one of football's greatest upsets. A 17-year-old named Pelé announced himself to the world, leading Brazil to their first ever title. Brazil proved 1958 was no fluke, defending their crown in Chile despite losing Pelé to injury early on. Brazil proved 1958 was no fluke, defending their crown in Chile despite losing Pelé to injury early on. On home turf, England won their only World Cup still debated today thanks to one controversial goal that may never have crossed the line. Pelé returned for one final World Cup and delivered what many call the greatest team performance in football history. Total football arrived. The Dutch dazzled the world, but it was West Germany, led by Franz Beckenbauer, who lifted the trophy at home. Under a military dictatorship, Argentina won their first World Cup at home, with ticker tape raining down on a deafening Buenos Aires crowd. Italy claimed their third title, powered by Paolo Rossi, in a tournament remembered for one of the most brutal semi-finals ever played. One man carried a nation. Diego Maradona's hand of God and goal of the century made this the Maradona World Cup. A cautious, defensive tournament, but West Germany got the job done one last time before reunification. Football landed in America. Brazil won on penalties, but the tournament is remembered for Baggio's heartbreak and a country falling in love with the game. The hosts silenced their doubters. France, led by Zidane, dismantled Brazil in the final and lit up Paris in blue. The first World Cup in Asia brought shocking upsets, and Brazil, led by Ronaldo's redemption story, claimed a record fifth title. Zidane's fairy tale ended in infamy with a headbutt in the final. Italy capitalized, winning their fourth World Cup. Africa hosted its first World Cup to the sound of vuvuzelas. Spain, playing their tiki-taka style, won their first ever title. The host nation suffered a humiliating 7-1 collapse to Germany, who went on to lift the trophy in Rio. A new generation arrived. France, led by a teenage Kylian Mbappé, won their second World Cup in style. The most dramatic final in World Cup history. Messi finally got his hand on the trophy, beating France in a match for the ages. Now history repeats bigger than ever. 48 teams, 3 nations, 1 trophy. The 2026 World Cup is here to add the next chapter. From Montevideo to New Jersey, 96 years of heartbreak, glory, and legends. Which World Cup was your favorite? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for more football history.